Hello, and welcome back, or welcome if you're just joining us for the first time to the 16th Annual Hamilton Film Festival. This is part of the Hamilton Film Summit, an all-day event where we put a spotlight on everything local. This is the Real City panel, so we're talking about and two local organizations that are contributing to the growing film, television, and new media scene here in the city. So thank you, and thanks for joining us. And what we'll do first is we'll go around. I'll say your name, and if you want to say who you are and what organization you are here representing. So I'll start with you, Bill.
My name is Bill Custers. I'm the Senior Manager of Broadcasting for Cable 14 TV.
And Kristina?
Hi, everybody. My name is Kristina Durka, and I'm Factory Media Center's administrator.
And Max.
Hi, I'm Max Francis, and I'm here representing the Hamilton Black Film Festival.
You represent a lot of stuff, Max. You're a busy guy. And Dana.
Hi, I'm Dana Abraham, CEO and co-founder of Red Hill Entertainment.
Thanks for being here. And Debbie.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Debbie Spence. I work at the City of Hamilton. I'm the business development consultant for creative industries.
And Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura Ellis. I am the co-founder and executive director of the Hamilton Ladies of Film and Television, or the Hamilton LOFT.
And Matthew.
Hi, I'm Matthew MacFadzean. I am the executive director of industry.
Okay, that's great. And so now we're going to find out a little bit about what you each do and what your organizations do that benefit the local community, or people that are coming into the community that they might not be from Hamilton, but they might be, they might want to access certain things, and how they can go about doing that. So we'll take the same order there. So Bill, can you tell us a little bit about Cable 14 and what they do for the community?
Sure. First of all, congratulations on the success of the festival so far this year, and thanks for having us today. Wanted to start off, Cable 14 has been around the community for over 50 years, and really our purpose is to create and share local content. We create it amongst ourselves with our staff, and we also create it with a crew of volunteers and community producers. So we try and facilitate people that have ideas to create television programming. The second part of it, and it's really become much more evident during COVID, is that role of a curator or an aggregator of local content. And especially during COVID, where we found how important local, hyper-local information is. We've had so many more community producers and content creators from Hamilton coming to us with finished, completed, or almost completed content, and looking for an outlet to get that content out to the community. And the nice thing about Cable 14 is we are a linear broadcast channel, but we also have a very strong online video and video on demand service. So over the last 2 years, unfortunately, with COVID, that aggregator and curator of local content has really become a big part of what we do. We're starting to see things pick up again now. We're back into hockey season. We fortunately have the Bulldogs back playing a home schedule this year. And our local production is ramping back up again. But I think one of the positive outcomes of COVID is that role of a curator and an aggregator of local content for Cable 14 is one that we're really going to embrace and hold on to. One of the things that we all struggle with, I think, is discoverability of content. And Cable 14 has that portal to the Hamilton community, both on TV and online, that the local content creators can take advantage of.
And that's true here with the film festival. Cable 14 is a sponsor, and you've been showing our content in the evenings and streaming online. And in addition to the content that people can access, or can have their content shown on Cable 14, there's quite a big component to the behind the scenes as well at Cable 14 for the local community. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure, we have everyone from high school students and college students, right up to senior citizens who are coming in and want to learn about television or have as a hobby, content creation as a hobby. And we work with them behind the scenes. They might want to be a cameraman, or they might want to learn to edit. So we have all of our facilities that are available for the community as well. And they come in and they work with our staff and get the training that they need to either produce or edit their own content, work on some of our existing productions, or create a production on their own. And quite often, Nathan, we see people work through the process where they come in and they want to be a cameraman. They do that, they learn that skill. They end up with an idea for a program that they end up shooting and producing and editing on their own. So it really becomes that jump board to a whole career in broadcasting.
Yeah, that's one thing I do see, and I have seen over the years, is people that have worked behind the scene and they go on and they move on to, you know, some other jobs and they're out there working in the industry, which is pretty amazing. And one of the things that I also notice is that some of the people that are on air at Cable 14, they also go on to other things. I've seen them on the Weather Network, and so it's almost like a great local stepping stone as well.
Or to City Council.
Right, that's right. And they get their message out there. That's great. Thank you, Bill. And so I'll move to Kristina now about and to tell us a little bit about the Factory Media Center.
Thank you, Nathan. So Factory Media Center is one of the only not-for-profit artist-run centers in Hamilton. We're one of 3, and we're also the only media arts artist-run center. And what that means is anybody in Hamilton or beyond can become a member of our organization to access affordable, accessible resources like studio space, media equipment, professional development workshops, and paid opportunities through screenings, events, exhibitions, anything you can think of. We've been active in Hamilton for over 17 years, and we've mostly been located on James Street, but excitingly, we're moving into like the second stage of our existence. We received an OTF capital grant to renovate a larger facility. So we're leaving James Street this year and moving to Victoria Avenue as part of the Evil Empire umbrella, which you heard from in a previous panel with Christophe Benfi, which is extremely exciting because that means we can continue to offer exhibitions and screenings while also hosting like professional like film and audio recording studios instead of doing everything simultaneously in one room. And we have a couple opportunities coming up for people who are in film and media. So we have our annual members screening coming up in December. The deadline is December 3rd. Anybody can submit a film under 15 minutes. And it'll be screened on our website and on in Farside Cafe Gallery. So that is on 288 James Street North. We do 3 paid residencies a year where we pay artists to produce either a film or a media project. And that's coming up really soon too. So the deadline for that is December 10th. And then, believe it or not, Factory is a completely volunteer-run organization. And we do have openings for board members coming up before the end of the month. So if any of this resonates with any of you, get in touch with me and I can give you more information on that.
Now,
for all of it.
No, that's great. And now for the rentals and the applications for residency, or even to have your film shown, do you have to be a member of the Factory Media Center? How does the membership thing work? And what do you get for that?
Anybody can be a member. We have options from like $0 to $40, depending on like what tier you are. And what that means is that if we have over 100 members, which is great. And that means the rentals can be extremely cheap compared to a for-profit organization. So yes, people do have to be members to rent gear and to show in the member show and to be on our board. But the more people working towards factory means the more capacity we have for increased operations, which is really needed right now with our relocation project. I've worked with a number of people in this panel, and it's just been wonderful seeing how much energy there is supporting the organization after so long.
That's great. It's been, yeah, I think the factory might be as old as the film festival. I think Hamilton Film Festival and the Factory Media Center may have started around the same time. So it's great that you're still around. That's fantastic. And I believe we're going to Max now. Max, tell us about what's going on there.
All right, we're the new kids on the block, the Hamilton Black Film Festival. Basically, we just want to shine a spotlight on BIPOC producers, directors, actors, and get that work out there so that people can enjoy it, people can see it, and they also have a place where they can submit their work so they can kind of get it out there. And so there's a highlight on what they're doing. And yeah, we're the new kids. We're trying. We're slowly building here.
And so you're going into your second year, is that correct?
Second year, that's right. This year, we're really pushing to make it bigger than it's been before. And we're hoping to get more submissions. And we're also hoping that more people are aware of the event and more people attend and more people are involved.
Yeah, it takes a little while to grow and to let people know that you're there and that you exist and what it is you're doing. And what venues are you operating out of? I know last year was the pandemic, so that could have changed things, but where are you headed this year?
Wow, that's another great question. Actually, we don't have a venue at this time. We're still working on that. We have a lot of things we're lining up. So once everything's lined up, we'll start rolling it out and letting people know where they can find us. But for now, you can always find us on our website.
Well, and why don't you tell us what that website is, Max?
It's www.hbff.ca.
Awesome, and we'll come back around and talk to you a little bit more about that as well.
Right.
And let's go to Dana. Dana, what's going on?
Not too much. Hold on.
Not too much. Come on.
So as far as Red Hill Entertainment goes, I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of you and look forward to meeting the rest of you in time. But it kind of started about 2 years ago. I'll take you quickly back in time to the Mule on King William Street, where I sat down with Nathan Fleet and I told him about my vision and my dreams of producing feature films as well as acting and utilizing my capacity as a writer to create Red Hill Entertainment. And graciously, Nathan being who he is and being so committed to all Hamiltonians unilaterally, he started connecting me with the likes of Debbie, who's helped insurmountably over the last couple of years, Hamilton Film Studios, and all of the different vendors that exist in Hamilton, enough that I was able to seek out a lot of help. And over the last, 20 months now, just coming up on 2 years, we've produced 3 feature films. We've just sold our first 2. We're about to sell our third. As I announced last week on CHCH Morning Live, Entertainment One, a Hasbro company, just took on North American rights to Neon Lights, starring Kim Coates and myself. Just quick little tad bits on how we work with the local community. I mean, I work with you, Nathan, all the time, I think, at this point. And Debbie, you as well, like so much help over the last couple of years, from everything from the municipality, the film office, to, promoting the city and its ability to not only be a double, but also home filmmaking overall. In just quick stats for you, in the 20 months we've been kind of on the ground, we went from Kamar and myself, business partners when both Debbie and Nathan have met, to 6 full-time partners. We're backed by a venture capital fund of 3.7 billion now, and we've employed over 515 people. We look to do over 1,000 next year. We're looking at partnerships from Netflix to Prime Canada to Entertainment One, obviously, Universal Studios, 21 Laps Entertainment, which is Sean Levy's company from Montreal. And we just continue to build towards filming in Hamilton and continue to build towards creating opportunity. And some of the ways we do that is by creating internship opportunities. I know, Nathan, you've helped me reach out to Mohawk. We've had the fortune of getting a couple co-op students early on who on our second project were able to become interns, paid interns. And then on the third project, we're full-time camera trainees. And it makes me really proud to say, one, they're working in the media department at Red Hill Entertainment full-time, curating content for us. But at the same time, they're working in the industry full-time and they're only 22 years old, making over, the two of them combined, over 200,000 a year. So we hope to work with colleges and scholastics and academia alike to continue to create these opportunities. Then hopefully start working with a lot of you. I know Laura and I sat down together a couple of weeks ago, thanks to Nathan again, and obviously Bill putting in all that effort. But hopefully we can continue to collaborate and do the great things that we hope to, which is to create a great community of filmmakers and, all just overall entertainers.
That's amazing. Thank you, Dana. And it's great to have you at the community. And, you're one of those people that I saw hanging out at an event, hey, I want to get to know some people kind of thing. And then boom, before you know it, 3 feature films and here you are. So it's great that these kind of things exist. And kind of going back to what Bill was saying about the community and offering them space and time on air, that's where Lights Camera Hamilton started, was on Cable 14 as a segment that I was doing to talk about the local film industry. So Lights Camera Hamilton actually started right on Cable 14. So there's so many great local things and opportunities, and it's what you're doing is the same thing. You're creating these opportunities for people that might, they might start off as an intern and then it turns into a job and then they're in the industry, thanks to, you taking a chance on them. So I think that's fantastic.
Well, I think just to add to that is it's a testament towards everybody that's kind of paved the ground for us. Bill, Nathan, Debbie, all of you guys have done such great work. And Max, I cannot wait to see how your film festival is going to do, just simply because you are going to be providing so many opportunities for individuals that need voices, and they do that through the creative medium of film and television. So I look forward to continue to work with you guys, because it's going to be, eventually it's not going to be local anymore, because we will hit a threshold where we are now competing with the international fleet of filmmakers.
Nice choice of words there, the fleet of filmmakers. And let's go to, I think Laura was next.
Hi. So Hamilton Ladies of Film and Television, or Hamilton LOFT, started in 2019. And then it stopped suddenly when 2020 hit. And so we had a lot of time to really plan the next future out. So we started, it was me, my partner, Alicia Main, and Cher Obadiah, and the 3 of us kind of got together because Alicia and I had gone to the Hamilton Film Festival and we attended a day, we didn't even know each other. We had sat in the audience and Nathan called up all the directors, and there was one woman in a lineup of like 20 directors. And we met in the lobby and we're like, hi, you saw that, right? I saw that, you saw that. That's a problem, right? Like this one woman. So from there, we kind of talked about like, what can we do to change this? What can we do to try to bring, gender parity? What can we do to help? Like, we can't just look at it and complain about it. What can we do going forward? So we got together, we wrote our first grant. We're really grateful to the City of Hamilton. The City Enrichment Fund funded us. And that's how our first project got started. And that project is coming up tomorrow as part of the Hamilton Film Festival. And we were very lucky. We ended up with a team of 19 women. It was an all-women crew, and we say that it could be cis, trans women, non-binary. We're very open. But yeah, it was an entirely a woman-based crew, and it was something that we just wanted to prove could be done within the city with women who have amazing skill sets. And so yeah, our hope is that we can keep further developing the skills of women in the city. We just found out that we got funding from Ontario Arts Council. So our next project is to do a training program for women, and we're paired with Factory Media Center. And we've been very grateful to all the partners we've had, which is you guys, Hamilton Film Festival, Factory Media, Hamilton Film Studios, Cotton Factory. Everybody's been so good to us. And so we just want to keep trying to, encourage women to pursue their passion without feeling a little bit scared to make mistakes or afraid to be in a setting with perhaps all men. So that's one of our goals.
That's really amazing. Like, for something that didn't exist a few years ago to now you're getting grants and growing this thing. You're a community leader. It takes somebody like yourself to come up with the idea and then to put it in motion, because it takes a lot of work. It's not just the one screening that you'll see on Sunday. It's years of work that goes into it, and it's fantastic to see where you are already, like just in that short period of time to get to where you are. I think it's wonderful, and I think it's something that will grow, and there'll be a lot of people behind it. And I know you have a show as well on Cable 14, so there's so much connection with your connection with the Factory Media Center. There's so much connection going on here, and I think it's wonderful that I think if people get involved in any one of these organizations, you're going to end up connecting to one of the other ones that's here. So I think just getting involved is a really important thing. But that's fantastic, Laura. Congratulations on all that. It's a lot of work.
Thank you.
And Debbie.
Hello, everyone. So from the perspective of the city of Hamilton, kind of the services and that we provide would be kind of break it down to kind of 3 categories. So one is what's called production services. So we have staff in our film office that work directly with productions that want to shoot and film in Hamilton. So they provided a lot of assistance with regard to that. Then we have something that I guess is like sector or business development. So that's the work that I primarily do, which is working with businesses in film, creative industries overall, but we're talking film here. So businesses in film and the workforce and organizations as well. So if people are they're here already, we want to make sure we retain the existing businesses and workforce here. And then we also want to help them expand. So I would look at if a business contacts me, I'm helping them with navigating city processes, anything from building permits to other different components. Also trying to look at resourcing that's available either locally through the municipality, but also provincially and federally to help that business grow and expand. And then the same goes for the attraction side of it in terms of if there's a business or there's a workforce piece and we're looking at attracting and strengthening that. And then the third piece is that industry support, which is kind of a broad category. So we would partner with organizations like the Hamilton Film Festival to do the great work that they're doing to build the infrastructure that's necessary to help the industry in Hamilton grow. We worked this year with the Hamilton Black Film Festival. We partnered on an event, a virtual event about careers in the film industry. So we're working again at the youth level, trying to attract and encourage and explain to people what are careers in film. And getting to that level of it as well. And then working with organizations like Lights Camera Hamilton, and we do things offering professional development for businesses and then also for entrepreneurs or creatives. We've got the Creative Exchange that we partner with Lights Camera Hamilton. A plug for that is December 1st is the next virtual event. Hopefully we'll be getting into in-person in 2022. And then just touching on what Laura was mentioning in terms of the City Enrichment Fund. So the other industry support piece of it is that the city does have funding for artists and filmmakers in terms of if you're pursuing programs or events or your practice, your artistic practice from that perspective. So that's me. I think Nathan will probably provide contact information and websites and all that good stuff. So I'm available via email if you have any questions.
That's great. Thank you, Debbie. And Matthew.
Hi, everyone. Industry started as a multidiscipline performance company. We were looking to promote, present, and foster Hamilton performance artists. And then it happened, COVID struck. And so who's going to see anything? Who's doing anything? And that's sort of when we really got to work, I think, because we started to feel not just in the Hamilton community, but globally that artists who are used to performing and earn wages and earn, a career from performing were going through similar things. There was a commonality to performing artists' experiences. And so we started to work on projects that sort of waved a bit of a flag for performance artists. We partnered with Porchlight Theatre and created the Garden Project, which in 2 years, we're entering our third, has raised over $32,000 for BIPOC artists in Hamilton, BIPOC performance artists in Hamilton. That's for artists and their mentors to create new work. And those relationships have continued and evolved. In fact, we're having something called the Garden Party at the Art Gallery of Hamilton on November 25th, which we're very excited about. We also created something called the Corona Diaries. We discovered 7 artists from 7 countries around the world. And at the beginning of COVID, we started emailing them questions about their experiences as artists, but also just as humans in their lives during this weird time. And they would videotape them, they would record themselves, their responses, send them back to us. And we created a web series called the Corona Diaries around these 7 artists. We had a tagline during that series. There was just a hashtag, I am still an artist, sort of just to, let folks know that, even though you're not seeing these people perform, you're not seeing their work, you're not seeing any product, there are artists all over the world that are still artisting. They're still being themselves, they're still thinking stuff, they're still creating stuff. That hashtag has now evolved into a project called I Am Still an Artist, that we are proudly partnering with the Factory Media Center, Hamilton Film Festival, amongst others, to create public art. This is going to be a series of video installations that will pop up around the city in various locations, featuring 15 artists from across disciplines in Hamilton and their work and their names splashed across the city for all to see. I am still an artist, so that, we're all still here. It's still happening, even though you're not seeing it so much. So that's where we're at right now.
So with industry, what you're doing there, how are you finding these artists? Is industry, did they put out a call? Are you a membership-based organization? How do people get involved with what you're doing?
Good question. I mean, project to project, it's certainly a different scenario. With I Am Still an Artist, Kristina had the great idea of putting out an open call to artists. And so that's what we did. We paid an independent jury of 4 artists from different disciplines and backgrounds. And then we put out an open call to anybody, any artist around the city. Submit your work, tell us why, what the pandemic's been for you, what Hamilton is for you. And this jury then, chose 15. And then, 15 artists get $1,000 and exposure all over the city. Pretty good deal, if I may say. So it really varies project to project, but if anybody ever wants to get in touch with me about what we're doing, please email me. I'd love to talk more.
And we do have the chat window open, so if anyone has any questions for anyone, just put it in the chat, and I'll make sure that they get the question to them. And also, as panelists here as well, if you want to put your contact information into the chat, that's totally fine as well, because I will save this after in case someone misses it. And what I'd like to go through now is the process of getting involved. So I'll go back to you, Bill. So I'm a local creator, or I want to learn how to be a camera operator. What's the first thing I do when approaching Cable 14?
I'd recommend you visit our website at cable14.com, and all the information is there. You can fill out a form saying I want to get involved, and it gives you the opportunity to sort of specify what area of broadcast or production you're really interested in working in. We have on our staff a full-time volunteer coordinator who looks at those every day. We do intake every couple of months, and we do training. We put you through our training program, health and safety, which is obviously a very big element, especially if you're out working on our mobile production unit. But everything that people need is online at cable14.com.
That's wonderful, and it seems like a pretty easy process. And that you said there's somebody looking at intake on a daily basis, so it's probably the response time is probably quick. It's not like you got to wait around for months to find out what's going on.
No, it really is. And there's also contact information. All of the email addresses are on the website. So even if you just have a question, you don't want to fill out the form today, pose the question via email, and once you email it in, it hits a number of our staff, and one of us will be able to get back to you right away.
Oops. Okay, sorry about that. And Kristina, let's go to you there. And so I'm a member of the local media making community, and I want to get involved with the Factory Media Center. What's the process there for getting involved?
Good question. It depends on the person's level of involvement. Like if you're a filmmaker who wants gear or mentorship or bodies to help you make your film, you can email me at info@factorymediacenter.ca. I've put it in the chat as well. And I'm kind of like the delegator of connecting people within town, or connecting you with gear. If you're an artist who is interested in making like your first film or your first independent project outside of a crew, that's also what Factory does. Like we provide reasons for you to do that through like monthly exhibitions, a screening series, workshops. All of those opportunities are paid. So that's a reason to get involved with Factory, because we're often some people's first professional event where they're paid and they have a reason to produce the work. We don't want all of our stuff to be as barrier-free as possible. So we actually do have a volunteer program where artists or filmmakers can donate their time to us to receive credits towards the equipment. Or if your project is community focused and has a certain impact that you think will help your local community, we also have a community partnership program where you can tell us about your project and how you want our help, whether it's gear, connections, resources, promotion, and we do that. Obviously, we do a lot of different things simultaneously, so that's dependent on our capacity at the time. And that's why it's so important to get involved with us and our membership, because the more people we have working towards empowering local filmmakers in Hamilton, the more things happen. So email me is best. Otherwise, information about the membership, the equipment, the programming, that's all available at our website at factorymediacenter.ca.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And like I was a Factory Media member before I became a board member, and I continue to be a member of the Factory Media Center. And it's a great hub as well. Like you will meet people that could be part of your next crew and might be part of your next crew going forward. There's just it's a great place to get involved. And like you said, the membership is from 0 to 40, so you can kind of whatever kind of suits your budget. So anyone listening to this, I highly recommend that they join the Factory Media Center. They do have some great opportunities. That's fantastic.
And also, sorry, so some shameless self-promotion. We do have spots on our board of directors. So if you're a member of the community that wants to better the local community, you can help guide our organization by joining our board. So we're receiving applications until December 1st. That requires a letter of intent for what you would like to bring to the organization. And then we can go from there and find out if you would like to join. You would be voted in at our annual general meeting on December 13th. And then following that would be the watch party for our annual members exhibition. So you can also see what independent filmmakers have been up to. There's a few of them coming up at the shorts that you've programmed, Nathan, right after this. So I'm excited to check them out as well.
Oh, good. Excellent. That's wonderful. And Max, so as a BIPOC filmmaker, either in Hamilton or the world, and they hear about the HBFF and they want to get involved, what do they got to do?
They can reach us at info.hbff.ca, or they can contact me directly. On behalf of Pies who couldn't be here, I want to say thank you to Nathan for having us. Thank you to Debbie from the city. You guys have been unbelievable. Thank you to Bill Custers at Cable 14. You guys have been unbelievable also. So yeah, reach out to us. Please get involved. And we are really excited to see what we're going to be able to do next year.
And so you have opportunities for filmmakers to show their work. And
Yes.
then I know you're in your second year, so and you're still working on things and kind of finding a venue, so you may not know all of what your events may be, but the focus is to screen works from BIPOC filmmakers. That's the focus.
Absolutely. And one of the big things that he's done, which I think is amazing, is he hasn't just limited it to Hamilton artists. It's a worldwide contest. So basically anyone in the world can submit their films or their work to be reviewed.
That's great. So it's a great celebration of those filmmakers, and you're providing an opportunity for them to screen their works. And then as things progress, there'll be other things announced where it's going to happen, and then maybe other events that kind of go along with it. So that's great.
We are working on a lot of new projects. I'm just not at liberty to discuss them right now, but once I am at liberty to discuss them, I will share them with the world.
Oh, I know you will. I know you will. You'll be the loudest voice in the room, that's for sure, Max. That's great. And so, Dana, when you're talking about having interns on your set and the amount of people that you employ here in the city, there's a lot of cast in Hamilton. There's a lot of crew in Hamilton, and the big question that they always ask is, how do I get on set? So if someone wants to work with Red Hill Entertainment, what's the process of finding you?
They just contact me through Nathan and Debbie. No, Red Hill's grown significantly. Obviously, I'm embarrassed to say I can't get to every email as I used to be able to. However, the biggest thing that we're implementing now is a full human resources department at this point. So, obviously a lot of people do reach out to us right directly from our website through the contact page. However, there's really no right way to say this. It's just, you have to just get in touch with anybody at Red Hill Entertainment, because we will find a place for you if you're eager and you're passionate. Because at this point, we have a business affairs and legal department. We have head of development for series and feature films. We have head of production. We have head of cast and crew. We have casting in-house. So all in all, to basically say, it goes kind of back to conversation that I've had with Debbie almost a couple of months ago. I would say at this point, we're not just for cast and crew anymore. If you're in the industry or you'd like to get into the industry, but your focus is legal, there's an opportunity to work in the entertainment sector in the legal side of it. If your focus is literature and you want to, translate that and incorporate that into the screenplay format, there's opportunities working under Tila Dutta or Ruzbe Hidari. So in essence, just continuously reaching out to us through our website to the contact form. Shay, who works day to day, very similar to Cable 4T. She's looking at a lot of the incomings day to day. However, that's not to say that she'll get back to you right away. It really comes down to timing for us. We're still very boutique and bespoke. So what that essentially means is we're project by project basis. Right now, all of our executives have an assistant. So there's 18 plus 18 more. However, when we get to projects such as in May, when we start shooting Rerouted here in Hamilton, with a lot of American cast mixing with Canadian cast and obviously Canadian crew, we will be looking for PAs, we will be looking for interns. In the past production, just this summer in 100 Lives, we were able to bring in students from Niagara College, Mohawk, and Sheridan as our paid interns or PAs or co-op. So we're going to do very similar things again. And if you're starting out in the industry, I get a lot of emails or contact information from individuals that are, trying to become high-level cinematographers or directors or whatever it may be. Again, we can bring you on as a PA in a department that is suitable for you. If obviously your expertise again is legal, we'll put you in under Jazz Brar. You can work with him and you can understand what he does day to day. If it's if it's somebody who wants to learn to produce, you can come PA with me and you'll understand what the day-to-day means. And by the time I get to camera as an actor, transition off with Tiffany Swears and you can work under her. So it's not just cast and crew anymore. It's anybody and everybody that's intrigued by the film industry. We will find a way to get you incorporated and assimilated.
That's incredible. And so going into that would be your fourth film that you're going into right in May. That's the fourth.
Yep. So Rerouted will be our fourth. So just to give you a quick little update, we're doing service production at this point. We have launched Red Hill Entertainment. We just launched our California office in Riverside, California. So we will just be hiring ourselves here. It's in order to kind of expand our wings and bring in American content here to create more content with higher budgets and partnerships with Netflix and Entertainment One and Amazon Prime. That's going to be followed by El Tigre, which is my baby, and I've been waiting to get that done for a couple of years now. But we're also doing animation at this point. We're partnering with several animation companies, especially with Viacom, and also series. So all of that's in the works, and we look to do 60 hours of content in the next 3 to 4 years.
Wow, that's impressive. All from that young kid who showed up at the library to a creative exchange wanting to connect to the industry. It's impressive, Data. It's very
impressive. A couple tacos later, we're here. So it's great. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's amazing. Amazing. And that's, as Debbie was mentioning about the creative exchange, this is the kind of thing that happens. These are the connections that are made. And if there's not people like Laura Ellis, out there connecting other people, these things might never happen, right? So everybody that's on this panel, you're doing some really important stuff that, you might not see the benefit of it next week, but 2 years from now, it could make a significant impact on what's going on here in the city. So let's go to Laura Ellis and let's talk about Hamilton Loft. So is Loft a website? What is Loft, and how do people, I know what Loft is. How do people get involved? Like, do you just show up and say, I'm identify as a female filmmaker, let me in? What's the process?
If somebody said that to me, I'd be like, great, let's do it. But it's, we're primarily, like right now, apparently we're not cool. We're on Facebook, and apparently that's not where it's at anymore. But we have a group on Facebook. As long as you're, an identifying female or an all-encompassing idea of that term, you can join our Facebook group. That's where we post a lot of information, or on Instagram, or on our mailing list. So you can email us at thehamiltonloft@gmail.com. But basically, everybody's invited. There's no cost to be a part of our group. We just want to build and build and build so that people can come to us. Eventually, we hope to make, basically a network where somebody can come and hopefully crews can be like, I want more females on my crew. Where can I find this? Because so often we hear like, I don't know a female DOP. I don't know a female like boom operator. And it's like, let me get you the name of somebody. I know so many people. So that's kind of our goal as well. That's part of our mandate. With this previous project, it was announced, so everybody got paid, and it was announced. So we had an application process for this with the OAC funded project coming up. That will be a training course, basically, where we will ask for, again, applications and resumes and from women interested in applying, and they will be paid for their time, and they will be trained in different areas. So that's another, so that will be coming up. So that's why it's a good reason to join the group or the mailing list. So yeah, a big part of what we do, I just want to say, is that we don't want to exclude anybody. A huge part of it is so many women don't even get the chance because the hours are insane, and we have so many people who are single moms, and as soon as you're a mother, like, goodbye career, like they don't even get a chance. If you can't do a 13-14 hour workday, you don't even get a chance. So that was part of our mandate doing this film. Like, we had 8.5 hour days, and that was it. We were not going longer. we let people take off time for childcare. We had people, so that is a huge part. We don't want any barriers for any women out there to not be able to pursue what they want to do or learn the skills they want to learn. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. It really is, because like you said, that barrier, they might look at a film shoot and think, well, I can't commit these long hours and these multiple days or whatever it is, and here's Loft giving them that opportunity. Well, let's create the schedule that works for you, right? And I think that's what it sounds like you're doing and working towards.
Yeah, it's just not safe. It's not safe for anybody, let alone, you know, parents, like especially often childcare falls on women, so they don't really have a choice often. They're just the primary caregiver, and it really takes away from their opportunity. So we want to make that available. Plus, I mean, those kinds of hours, I'm sure all of us know, are just not, like, they're not emotionally stable, they're not mentally stable, physically capable of doing it. So we are trying to change this, at least within our own group, hopefully beyond that.
Wonderful. That's amazing. And I guess through the Instagram or Facebook page, if, like you said, if there's somebody that wants, you have to be female identifying to be part of the Facebook group page. But if there is somebody who's trying to find a female crew, how do they get access to?
Yeah, so they can, I think you can still send a message to us on both platforms, but the best way is our email address. We check that really often. So thehamiltonloft@gmail.com if you're looking to add more females to your crew or female identifying people to your crew. We're more than happy to try to connect you to somebody.
That's great. Amazing. And Debbie, so I get called all the time or emailed, where do I get a permit? How do I get a permit? How do I get parking? How do I do this? And I always say hamiltonfilm.ca and direct them to you. So there's a filmmaker or a producer and they come to Hamilton and they want to get one of those things or more. What is that process for working in the city?
Yeah, so the best place is just the email, which is film@hamilton.ca. And then the website, hamilton.ca/film, gives you information about planning to shoot here, kind of what are the steps, what are the resources, and then timelines and things like that. And then applications are all, they're all in that website from that perspective. So, and then if you're working with me, then I like to connect with businesses in Hamilton in terms of the bricks and mortar. When productions come here, we want to make sure that investment is made in Hamilton. I think right now, actually the city, like city broad, not the city as a corporation, but is up to about 62 million in direct spend from film productions that shoot in Hamilton. So that's good news for Hamilton's industry, and then also for the broader community, because there's restaurants that are being supported, there's hotels, and that's the kind of sell and benefits economically that we see from film. In addition to obviously the workforce piece and the bricks and mortar. So, but for filming, it's hamilton.ca/film, and then that film at hamilton.ca.
Wonderful. That's great. And it's a very easy process to reach out to the city and connect and get response. So I think it's fantastic what you're doing there. And it's been, I've watched film go from next to nothing in this city to where it's at now, and it's really impressive what the film office has done and the amount of outreach that you do. It's fantastic. And Matthew, let's finally, Matthew, and then we'll finish up here with industry. So you were saying that the way that people reach out, you put out these calls when you have these projects. Now, who is industry? Is it you? Is it just you? I don't know much beyond you, because I talked to you about it. So who is industry?
It's just me, Nathan. It's just me, lonely in a room. No, there's a group of us. We're a collective of artists and producers and movers and shakers from different backgrounds, who kind of came together and and saw a bit of a hole in the Hamilton landscape for a home for performance, and so we're trying to bring our collective skills towards creating something like that, a good vibe for performance in Hamilton. There's certainly the talent, as this panel is evident of. There's certainly the population of folks out there who are doing amazing stuff. So there just needs some work towards galvanizing that community and offering it support. I don't think I answered your question, but there's a bunch of us.
So a bunch of you, are they Hamilton based? Are they from all over? What's the makeup?
Yeah, no, we are a Hamilton gang. Yeah, we're all from Hamilton or Toronto expats, etc. But we all make this town our home, and this town is the town that we love.
And do you have a permanent space, or do you live online? Where does industry?
Well, again, that's a good question. I mean, we were on track towards a physical space before COVID hit, and while we are still on that track, COVID certainly derailed that. So we went online hard and started to really get into some media stuff, as per this panel, because live performance was dead for a minute there. But yeah, as the world opens up, we are gathering a strong force towards finding a home for industry and for performance artists in Hamilton.
Are you able to say like what it is you're looking for? Because you never know with all of us listening who might know of something. I always find sometimes if you just put the idea out there, someone will connect you with something. And
yeah, it's true. I mean, it's a delicate thing to talk about publicly, obviously, but something that we certainly are looking for is sponsorship. If there are businesses out there that would care to support, next year in our third iteration of the Garden Project, we're looking for private sponsorship to each of these artists rather than the fundraising that we've been doing, which, as we all know, is terribly difficult. So, if there are businesses out there that would like to support a BIPOC artist, please let me know. That would be the coolest. And then, we hope to gather more sponsorship as we go ahead towards finding space. So, that plus grants plus knocking on a whole lot of doors. And I feel like we're in a good place right now.
That's wonderful. And I think we're out of time here now. Everyone has posted their information in the chat here. So for all of you listening, if you want to do a copy of that chat and save it, I will do the same. So if you happen to miss something, reach out to me and I will get you all the information. I want to thank everybody here on this panel for joining us today and sharing your insight and your stories about your organizations and what it is you're doing in Hamilton. You're 100% making this a great city from what you're doing. You're all doing wonderful things, and I'm very happy to know you all. And I look forward to speaking with you a year from now, and we'll see where we're all at. So thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, and have a great evening. Thank you.